Hello everyone, my name is Kristen Grace. Here with me today I have
Rita
and
Mackenzie.
Yay! And we are so excited. We're gonna get into a warm-up and we're also gonna do some movement explorations, which is something that I've been really passionate about, helping dancers to really get to know their bodies a little bit more, to really get in touch with themselves, make that mind-body connection, and slow down enough to actually feel what they're doing. So quick introductions, maybe?
Sure.
Yeah, tell me about yourself, Renita.
Hi, I'm Renita. I've been dancing for the last 14 years, primarily in like hip hop foundations, a little bit of Afro, a little bit of like locking and house and all the other street styles. And I trained with Kristen since like 2019. So
Oh my
it's
gosh.
been a while.
It's been a
It's
while.
been a long time. So yeah, I'm excited.
Yay. And where do you teach?
I currently teach at Empire Dance Seattle every couple weeks on Sundays. I also head coach Short Crest Hip Hop. I teach at Duval Performing Arts, and I teach on the East Side called East Side Dance. So I'm
Love. What about movement mentality or movementality?
Movementality, yeah. So I have my own dance program called Movementality. It is focused on teaching beginners their fundamentals and really getting into grooves before we, really focus on choreography. So you guys are like building up your foundations, and I'm really teaching you to dance and not just follow steps.
Yeah, love. Okay, Mackenzie.
Let's see. I mainly grew up dancing ballet, contemporary, and jazz. And then I took a break for college, and then I've been back teaching for a little bit, but I teach kids, and I teach on the East Side, and I have my own dance company that is contemporary based, and it's called The Dance Set.
Yes. Okay. We are so excited to dance with you. Let's get into it. All right. We are going to start jogging in place here. And let those shoulders drop nice and loose. Good. Jumping jacks. Nice work. Bring your hands down. Open up. Good. We're going to go back to jumping jacks. I want you to think about pulling those shoulders down your back. Engage your core. Nice job. Keep it up. All right. We're going to do some jumps side to side. Nice and springy on those feet. Good. Forward, back. Beautiful. Step it out. Big circle sweep up. Inhale. Exhale. Down. Inhale up through your nose. Exhale. Bring it down. Stay low. Nice job. Shift your weight side to side. Feel that stretch into your calves. Open those knees with your elbows. Nice. Hands down. We're going to lift hips up. Go ahead and wiggle it out here. Think about shifting your weight back, pushing those hips back, waking up this backside body. Nice job. We're going to plie down. 2, 3, 4, up, 6, 7, 8. Down, up, down, up, and down. Nice job. And up. Walk your hands out. We're going to meet in downward facing dog. Pedal out those feet. Think about pushing the floor away. Strong, straight arms. Roll through those toes. Come up high plank. Brace your core. Think about tucking that tail. Hollow body, engage that core. Nice. Strong, straight arms. Nice. All right, shoulder taps. Try to keep those hips nice and steady. Good. We're going to reach back. Opposite hand, opposite foot. Nice. One more each side. Good work. Go ahead, drop down to your knees. Sit back, child's pose. Think about pulling your chest through your arms. Shake your head no. Nod your head yes. Good. Pull yourself forward. Tuck that tail. Squeeze those glutes. Bring yourself down. Tricep push-up. Exhale. Push the floor away. And back down. And up. Good. Tuck that tail. Yep. Engage right there. Nice. Bring it back down. One more time. Hips and shoulders rise together. Good. Sit back. Nice job. Tuck your toes. Lift those hips high. Right leg up. Step it on through. Nice. Rock. Forward, back. Good. Reach that right hand up. Thread it on underneath. Good. Reach it back up. And down. And up. Good. Drop that back knee. Reach back. You can grab on here or you can leave it straight. Either one. Good. Bring it back and over. Walk yourself down. Nice. All right, bring that left knee through. And twist. Sit up nice and tall. Good. Take that right leg, swing it around. Bring it on back. Keep your heel tucked here. Go all the way down. You can stay up, doesn't matter. Good. Brace that core. Push up. Bring it back around. Nice. Slide it back. And sit back. Get that hamstring stretch. Flexed foot. Think about pushing those hips back. Nice. Walk it back forward. Send your right leg back. We're going to come up into a side plank on the left. You can stay here, or if you'd like, you can drop that knee for additional support. Up to you. Try to stack those shoulders, shoulder blades together. Good. Bring it down. Other side. Lift those hips up. Push up out of that arm. Beautiful. Nice, Renita. Good. Bring it back down. Sit back. And shoot forward. Again, sit back. Shoot forward. Sit back. Shoot forward. Nice job. Back up into downward facing dog. Left leg up. Step it through. Good. Rock forward, back. Good. Reach that left arm up towards your front leg. Stack those shoulders. Thread it on underneath. Getting deeper into those hips. Back out. And down. And up. Nice job. Okay, go ahead, drop that back knee. Take your hand over your back foot. You can leave it there, or you can grab on. Up to you here. Bring it back down. Walk those arms down. Good. Slide that right knee through. Big twist here. Good. Take that left leg, swing it around, get into that 90-90 sit, and reach back. Keep that hip pushing up, tucking that tail. Nice job. You can stay up, you can lay flat. Really try to keep this knee down. We don't want any pain in that knee. We're really just working to stretch through our hip flexors and our quads here. Nice job. Go ahead and bring it back up. Swing that left leg around. Shoot that right leg back. And then we're gonna walk it on back here, getting that hamstring stretch on the left side. Good, bring it back forward. Plant those hands, send that left leg back. We're gonna walk our hands back to our feet and roll it on up, one vertebrae at a time. Nice, bring your head back and down and back, down and back, down. Nice job. Take a look right. Bring your chin all the way over your shoulder. Back over to the right and left. Nice job. Right ear, right shoulder. Left ear, left shoulder. Right and left. Let's release our head and start to release those shoulders as well. And then your rib cage. And then your back. Keep those glutes engaged, core engaged. Good, other way, release down. Moving through molasses, taking your time, creating space in your neck and shoulders. Good, and then roll it back up. Good, we're gonna reach those hands up. My earring is. Roll out those wrists. And bring those wrists down. Try to reach for the side walls. Really create space in your shoulders. Good, let's do circles. Nice flexed arms here, targeting our shoulders. Good. And then switch directions. Good job. Bring that right arm across. But we're not supposed to be. And the truth take your chin over. Even though it set me free. Good, switch. And my tears fall like the ocean as they floated in the breeze. They were falling in. Reach those hands up. Pull that right elbow back. You want to start pedaling out your feet here. Nice. Switch. Good. Circle sweep up. Big inhale. Grab your wrist. Pull yourself over. And switch. Bring it back up. And shake it out, shake it out, shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Move around the room. Take it out, take it out. Yay! Good job. Yeah. We feel warm? Okay, so we are all warmed up now. We're going to get into what I like to call movement exploration. This is by no means something that I invented. It's just a practice of improv and getting into your body. I like to think of it as a moving meditation. There's lots of different ways that we can approach it. Today, we're gonna start with kind of the base level, and then we might build on here as we go. But kind of the first thing I want you to think about is that there is no right or wrong answer, okay? This is just for you. So we are approaching this as a way to really get into our body. Oftentimes, tell me if you can relate, when we're dancing, we get kind of stuck in our head and almost like our head is floating somewhere up here and our body is still in class. And then we get back and we're like, I wasn't even able to apply those notes. Like, I don't know that I even remember what happened when the music came on. So this is just a practice of connecting your mind and body and starting to bring a little bit more intentionality to your movement, okay? So we're gonna start here. We're gonna, you guys are gonna face forward, and I want you to close your eyes, okay? Close your eyes, and as you close your eyes, feel the floor beneath you. So maybe shift your weight side to side a little bit. Nice. Start to kind of feel what that feels like. Bring some awareness to the top of your head. Bring some awareness to your shoulders. Maybe wiggle them out a little bit. Maybe your neck. And then think about your chest, your rib cage. Start to just kind of feel your breath flowing through, coming down into your hips. So when you get into your hips, I want you to think about your pelvic floor and starting to really engage and pull that up. I like to sometimes think of those wacky, wavy, inflatable tube mans at the car dealership, right? And how that air comes up from beneath them, right? It comes up right through their center, and that's sort of what lets everything else go. So that's kind of where our energy is coming from, is pulling up through this center. And I'm gonna turn on a song, and I want you guys to just take a moment and don't feel like you have to move right away. I want you to just kind of wait until the music moves you, right? So don't feel like there's any pressure to start freestyling or anything like that. This is really just an exercise in listening to the music and tuning your body into what you feel when that music comes on. If you need a little bit more of a prompt, because sometimes, especially if this is new, it can feel really intimidating and like, what the hell am I supposed to be doing here? So a reminder that there is no right or wrong answer, but if it helps you, you can think about drawing circles in your body, maybe starting with your head, maybe rolling your shoulders, thinking of things moving in kind of a consistent flow, like really rolling through your rib cage, maybe your hips, and just think about how you can create those circles where everything just kind of flows, okay? Any questions, my friends? Renita and Mackenzie? Good, okay. So let's get into it. We're gonna do right here. Nice. Open your eyes whenever you feel like it, or you can keep them closed. Nice, keep going. Really good. Thinking of everything flowing, letting your breath guide your movement. Feeling the music just flow through you, right? No pressure, no stress. No one's watching. This is just for you. Nice. Good. Now I'm going to ask you to find your eyes in the mirror. Same exact thing, but try to hold your eye contact with that same prompt. Thinking of round shapes. Eye contact in the mirror. Nice. Yeah. Good. Can we start moving around the room a little more? So thinking about taking up space. Nice. Really good. Can we play with levels? Thinking up and down. Nice. Yeah. Take your time. Beautiful. Uh-huh. Good. Nice, y'all. How did that feel? Felt good? Any reflections?
I like the idea of like roundness. Like I could just like explore round in different ways, from like torso and arms in the air,
Yeah.
Around. So yeah, the prompt was helpful.
Okay, yeah, it gives you at least something to like grab onto so you're not just like floating in the air. Yeah. Mackenzie, anything else?
It was easy for me to do round in certain areas. And then I kept thinking like, okay, I've done this a lot. Where else can I be round? And then it was harder in other areas.
Yeah. And that's part of the process for this. So I think a lot of people feel like, okay, I have to get into this and I can't repeat things. I have to be creative with but this, again, that's why I call it movement exploration, because I almost approach it like a scientist of like, let's try some things. Let's try this combination. Let's try this combination. Like, we're not trying to pass a test. We're not trying to get the correct answer. We're just experimenting and exploring. I just literally started calling it this because the word freestyle was intimidating to me. And I was like, I remember I wanted to post a video of me doing something like this, and I was gonna call it like, my caption, I'm like, freestyle session. And then I was like, everyone's gonna be like, that freestyle sucks. No one is going to think that, but you know how like we're all our own worst critic, and we all like, of course, think people are judging us when they're not. And so I was like, you know what, really all I was doing there was exploring my movement. And so that's kind of how this came about. And I've found so much value for myself as a dancer of taking the time outside of class, right? Outside of class to actually get to know myself as a mover and to trust my own voice, right? Otherwise, I think when we, especially choreography dancers, we are constantly given a script and we are performing that, like we're saying the lines the way we think we are supposed to say them. But the thing that makes like a great actor and a great artist is having your own point of view and your own frame of reference for how you approach that script, how you approach the choreography. And class doesn't always give you the opportunity to explore that, right? So it really comes down to you finding your home practice and taking time, even if it's just a couple minutes a day, like you're waiting for food to microwave and you're just like, you know what I mean? And giving yourself a little bit of a prompt, like circles or like jelly or molasses or whatever, right? So can we do a different prompt now? Okay, let's do, okay, I would like for you this time to close your eyes and listen to the beginning of this music. And then I want you to tell me, if this were a music video, what do you picture for it, okay? So you're gonna think of like, where am I? What's the scene? What am I wearing? Who else is there? Like, what's the point of the song? All of that, okay? Here we go.
She got nothing to prove. She knows you got nothing on her. She knows you got nothing on her. No, nothing on her. Got my soul. Got my soul. Got my soul. Got my soul.
Yeah. Okay, what are we feeling? Who wants to go first? Mackenzie.
I think maybe I'm thinking about this because I just watched Tate's music video.
Oh,
And I kind of pictured somebody like sitting in a bar that's really like dark lit. Maybe it's like a basement or something.
Okay.
Then all of a sudden when the music picked up, she's like strutting through the bar. Outside though, she doesn't stay in. So she goes all the way out.
Okay, love it. What, she being you, what are you wearing?
Ooh. I think something skimpy. Maybe like underwear.
Cute, love it. Just chilling in an empty bar in lingerie. I love it. Are you wearing heels? Okay. Are there other people there?
No.
Nobody else is there. It's totally empty. What happens when you go outside?
I didn't get that far.
Okay, think on that.
Okay.
Start thinking about that. Renita, what do you picture?
I think very similar.
Ooh.
It feels like, I couldn't figure out if it was like a bar cafe, but like dark lit room.
Okay.
Maybe a girl sitting at the bar has her drink in her hand.
Uh-huh.
There's this guy that's like, he is like, he doesn't know her, but he's like been wanting to get to know her, but she is like, I don't know if I have time for this, you know, like kind of like minding her own business, but he likes that.
Okay.
And so, yeah, and then once the beat drops, she's kind of just like, she didn't really like strut out, but you know, she's kind of just like making her rounds, making her way around the room.
She's the it girl.
Seen,
Come on.
Yeah.
And what is you? What are you wearing?
I see like this black and red dress that goes like to here. With
Is it tight or loose?
Yes, it's like
tight.
fitted.
Fitted.
And
Okay.
then this like tan trench coat.
Ooh.
Yeah, heels.
And heels. Okay, cool. So I ask what you're wearing because we can think about, let's say I'm like, no, I'm actually like in the sand dunes and I have this like long, like flowy fabric coming off of me and I'm like, what am I? I'm like, have just escaped something and I'm like coming into my own power, right? So if I'm thinking of that and I'm thinking I'm barefoot and I'm in sand and I have a flowy thing, right? Then my movement is gonna feel a lot more probably, right? Like in here, I'm gonna be maybe more grounded, right? And I'm thinking of this flowing, right? Versus if I'm thinking I'm in heels and a tight dress, right? Then maybe it's here. And it's a little more here and a little more here with the heels, right? If I'm like combat boots, right? And I'm like, whatever, in an alley or something, and I'm like wearing denim, maybe it's here. So it's gonna change the way that I interpret the music, right? Cool. So I want you to get your story in your head, okay? And I want you to just kind of tell me what's happening in your story by dancing through it. It doesn't necessarily need to be mimey, like, right? It doesn't necessarily need to be that. But I want you to think about the elements of your character, of the scene. Is it airy? Is it grounded? Is it sexy? Is it strong? And kind of let that inform what your movement is. Okay? Let's try it. Here we go. Again, no rush, no pressure. You can take as long as you need to actually come into that character. Okay? Go ahead and start whenever you're ready. Yeah. Nice. So you can see Renita's here with the dress. Mackenzie's here with the dress. Nice. Hey. Yes. Good. What happens next in your story? Can you take us through some kind of a shift? You walk outside, you leave the bar, right? Yeah, hey! Hey, hey! Nice. Ooh, yes for those slowdowns. Nice. Hey, good. Yes. How did that feel? Good. You had some giggles. What were those?
I think it was just very hard to stay in character of like
totally
I'm picturing in my head because it's not me. So the giggles probably come from like me being uncomfortable.
That is so real. That's so real. Yeah. What about you, Renita? How did it feel?
It felt good on and off. I do obviously have those moments where I'm like in my head and then I'm back in character. And then I'm in my head. So
totally.
It's really like back and forth. Sometimes I like let the movement itself be louder than the music. And I'm like, wait, I'm not even on beat because I'm so focused on what I'm doing, and what I'm doing doesn't make sense with the music. So,
Was that part where it slowed down a little bit and you were doing this?
And I was like,
Yeah.
So it was just like finding the music again.
Yeah.
And then trying to connect with it.
Totally. And how do you do that? How do you find the music again? When you feel like your adrenaline or whatever starts bringing you to, because I think I struggle with that, and you do probably, like, everyone kind of goes through that to some extent.
I think it's connecting back here, and when I'm connected here, I feel like I can hear better, because I'm not like focused here. I'm focused on just this.
Yes.
And so then the music becomes louder again.
I love that.
Slowly start moving back into it.
Yeah. And this, meaning that connection with yourself and your own eyes in the mirror, instead of analyzing what your body is doing necessarily, right? But like locking in that focus to where you feel your performance, like you become one with it, right? And that totally does. It allows you to kind of hear that music like, whoo. But when we're going, okay, so then my arm, and then, no, that's, or what a lot of us do is we're looking there. Like, I have a tendency to look to the left a little bit. Like, even when I'm focused, a lot of times it's to the left. It's not on my eyes. And I think the reason for that, honestly, is because I teach. And so I don't know if you are both teachers as well, but like, I'm so accustomed to looking past myself at the people here in the classroom that I have to like remember to turn on my like dancer brain and not just be in teacher brain looking at everyone behind me. Mackenzie, how about you?
I think, so when I came forward, I was already thinking I had come out of the bar.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was thinking like, she's come up to a window and she's staring at herself in the reflection. And then you were like, okay, now you're strutting. And I was like, oh no. I've already strutted.
Oh, I've already strutted. The strut has already happened.
So then I had to very quickly think of a new scene, which was like, okay, I'm going to party with somebody on the street.
Love. Okay.
But
And I
that's
saw
when the
that.
music slowed.
Oh.
So then I had to pivot again. I was like, okay, now we're just laying on the floor of the street.
Yeah. Which was a really nice slowdown, though. That was a nice slowdown moment. Can you speak to how you pivot when you're like, okay, I had in my mind that I was about to do this, but now the music slowed down and it doesn't match what I wanted to do. How do you move through that pivot?
I think, honestly, I just go with the first idea that comes to my head.
And don't overthink it,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So I often talk about these exercises as like an acting improv. There's a concept called yes and, right? If you've ever had that experience where even if Mackenzie and I are doing a scene and we're acting, we're doing like an improv scene, and in my brain, I'm like, okay, the scene is we're meeting for coffee and we're gonna have an interview. And I'm the interviewer, she's the interviewee, and we come up to do our little like scene, and Mackenzie's like, oh my God, T-Rex! T-Rex is behind you! And I'm like, girl, what? That's not the scene we're doing. But I can't do that. I have to go, what? Like, my improv character now becomes, I was here for an interview, but then we had a dinosaur attack. Like, no, it doesn't make sense. But if I stop to be like, well, there's no dinosaurs because we're at a coffee shop, then it takes me out of the scene, right? So it's this exercise in just rolling with whatever happens. And so going with that first idea, not trying to judge it in the moment. You can always go back later and be like, okay, that didn't work. But I think a big disconnect that I see in a lot of dancers is that while we are expressing ourselves, we are also trying to analyze whether or not that was the right choice, right? And so I think being decisive and knowing that the stakes are very low, it doesn't matter. We're just playing, we're just exploring. Like, we're not submitting this to America's Got Talent. We're not, you know what I mean? Like, we're just exploring ourselves. So lower the stakes, lower the pressure on yourself, and just have fun following a train of thought, right? Actually, Galen Hook said this weekend that I thought was really good. She was like, in your ideas, treat your ideas like fine china, not like red Solo cups. Like, carry them through all the way till they're done and then move on. Like, don't just like toss it away as soon as you've tried it, right? Cool. Can we switch it? And now can you go to my scene, which was barefoot in a desert with like a long flowy thing. So at first thought, what are some ways that the movement will feel different, do you think?
I think, like, from how we were dancing to this.
Yeah, because both of you were heels, bar.
Yeah. I think my textures will change change from like sharp and quick to more like smooth. And maybe going back to that first prompt of like roundedness.
Sure. Yeah. What else?
I think my upper body's gonna feel different from my lower body. Because when I think like, okay, the upper body has to be flowy because we're wearing something long, versus my lower body's gonna be grounded and like playing with the sand.
Ooh, playing with the sand. That's a nice prompt. Yeah.
Because everything was just uppity before.
Okay, let's try it. Here we go. Same song, different concept.
She says she got nothing to prove. She knows you got nothing on her. She knows you got nothing on her.
Nice. Yeah. Hey. There you go. Yeah. So think about those different ways of moving through it, right? Think about playing with the sand, staying more grounded, letting that fabric fly. Just training your brain to explore movement in different ways. Nice. Nice job adapting to the music. Ooh. Hey. Good. Nice. Okay. How did that feel? Different, better, worse, trickier, easier?
Definitely different because of the thought of just like sand is here now, so I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, I actually have something to do on the
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and then thinking about having a flowy thing and how many different ways I could just like play with that. And got to a point where I'm like, okay, let me actually.
Yeah, I saw that. That was great. Yeah, like let me actually create that flow with what I have. Yeah. Mackenzie?
I think I thought it was gonna feel really icky.
Mm.
That idea I thought of, but it actually didn't feel that bad, which was surprising.
Yeah. Okay. Prompts, character, stories. So good. Yeah, I really like to see. I could tell you were like kind of playing with the sand here, and I could tell you were letting that fabric go. So all of that, there's endless things you can do, right? Playing with just like different ways of existing in your body. So let's get a little bit into that, yeah? So go ahead, face the mirror, and I want you to stand in a way that makes you feel insecure and shy and guarded. So think about how you would stand if you were feeling insecure, yeah, like timid. Okay, And now stand in a way that makes you feel confident and powerful and cool. Nice. Okay, so what do we notice there about the differences between those two movements? Go back to your insecure one, insecure and timid. Timid. Okay, so we can see both have their gazes down and out, which is really interesting. So neither of them are looking straight ahead. Both of them have kind of dropped shoulders, and then both have a closed stance. And actually, Mackenzie is so closed that her hands and her legs are closed, right? And Renita kind of in this, it feels a little more submissive, right? With like hands behind your back, feet together. And then go to your next stance, which was powerful, confident, crazy, sexy, cool. Yes. So immediately, both stood with feet wider apart. Both their gazes immediately went straight to the mirror, hands on the hips for both of you, which is really interesting. Angles, right? Like not being afraid to push out that hip for both of you, right? Really arching here for Renita, giving that like bam look. Mackenzie with the head tilt. So thinking about this, what I see a lot of times in students is that we are learning the choreography from this place, right? So we're coming into class and we're feeling like, I don't know if I'm good enough to be here. Like, this is gonna be really hard. I hope I don't mess up. I don't wanna take up a lot of space. And then we just end up dancing so small. So then even if the choreo is like, boom, boom, right? I'm dancing it from this place. And my whole nervous system is like guarded. Everything is. So my challenge to students is to think about taking up lots of space. Think about lifting from your sternum, focused gaze, like maybe a little bit of a angle down in the chin, shoulders back. Stand in this way when you're in class, when you're moving, when you're learning choreography, and then commit to feeling that way in your body all the way through. Cool? So we're gonna do one more movement exploration. I'm gonna have you, again, face the mirror, and I want you to stand so super confident. And we are gonna move 2 8 counts at a time, only one body part. So we're gonna really get comfortable with, like, if it's my hand, it's going like this. So slow. And then if it's my head, it's going, right? So what we're working on here is challenging that little internal belief that tells us we have to be doing something really cool in order to be worthwhile to look at and in order to feel like we're doing a good job. That is also relatable to my life. I don't know about you guys, but like I have to be accomplishing, I have to be doing, I have to be producing in order to feel like I'm doing a good job at life, right? And so this is an exercise in rest and worth of just intention. If you're doing very little with a lot of intention, it's so powerful versus doing a lot with very little intention. That feels like just noise, right? And I don't, personally, that's what I struggle the most with in freestyle is like when I get nervous, I just do I'm just moving to move, you know what I mean? I'm not like putting a lot of intention into it. So this is just an exercise in finding one body part, moving it for 2 whole 8 counts. So that's gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, okay? All right, here we go.
Shake off your misery. Forget what you've been told. Don't be mistaken.
We'll start on 5, 6, 7, 8.
So tell me what you've been through. Tell a story that matters to you. Take a peek into your mind. Let your spirit be the guide.
And
To find a way back home, you need to learn to let go. Remember you were born free from the victim mentality.
And
So they can call you crazy, they can call you blind, and you could be afraid, yeah, it's alright. But push through, baby, push through, and stay true, baby, stay true. Who's knocking at your door? When you're gonna let your soul.
good, nice job. How was that?
Awkward.
What felt the most awkward about it?
I think it's just doing one thing.
Yeah.
And not really able to do, like, I think I naturally just, like, when one part started moving, I was like, oh, wait, another part of you is moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
just naturally being so used to feeling like I need to do a lot
Mm-hmm.
and not just, like, figure out how to find power in one. and
Yeah.
in the middle, you know?
Yeah,
So,
yeah, totally. Mackenzie?
I think I cheated. Because I found myself in an awkward position and then I cheated and put my hand out. 'Cause
Yeah.
I either am going to go like this or I'm going to make myself not feel that awkward.
Yeah, you took bigger movements, so but I think it was actually really nice to see the contrast because in the bigger movements, it is harder to control for that long of a time. But in the smaller movements, it's harder to feel like, am I doing anything, right? So it was actually really nice to see your 2 different approaches. I don't think anyone is wrong or right, but let's switch. So now you do kind of full body, but like one direction like Mackenzie did, and you just do literally one thing at a time, okay? Let's see how that works. Okay, here we go, same song.
Shake off your misery. Forget what you've been told.
5,
Don't be
6,
mistaken, it's time
5, 6,
to show up and
7,
be
8.
bold. So tell me what you've been through. Tell a story that matters to you. Take a peek into your mind. Let your spirit be the guide.
And
To find a way back home, you need to learn to let go. Remember you're born free from the victim mentality.
And
So they can call you crazy, they can call you blind, and you could be afraid, yeah, it's alright. But push through, baby, push through, and stay true, baby, stay
and nice. Yeah, good. How's that? Totally. Did which one felt better to you? Your first one or your second one?
My first one.
Oh, interesting, because that was what was natural to you. So tell me about how that felt when you tried to do the full body. What felt the most awkward about it?
I think same thing. Like I didn't just want to move one part.
Yeah.
I started leading with my head, and I'm like, wait, where do I go from here?
Yeah.
I'm around at this point.
Yeah.
But I felt like maybe that just meant I needed to move a little bit slower and be more patient with it. And then it just became like, how can I be creative? Because I'm already on the ground.
Yeah.
So now, what other body part can I move? I realized my shoulder was in the air. Okay, maybe your shoulder can go back. Okay, you're already going back. Maybe finish with your hand.
Yeah, that was a nice one. I liked that one. Okay, cool. Mackenzie?
I found it difficult, like I would reach an end of range of motion, and then it was like naturally that's his stopping point.
Yeah.
So it's like, where do I go from here?
Totally.
Yeah. I did the same thing with my shoulder. It's like, okay, I guess I have to do it again.
I saw your face with your shoulder. You went like this and then you were like, shit. Where do I go from here? So let's talk about it. Let's do the shoulder one. So you were here. What shoulder was it? Your left?
Yeah.
So let's try it. 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's all just do whatever. Yeah. Okay. What did you do, Renita?
From my first stance? Or
No. From this one we just did. Where did your shoulder go to take up all that space?
Went forward, and I just took up a lot of space.
A lot of
but
space.
to
Yeah.
Keep like going out of my range.
I think that's what I was thinking too. Is like instead of just right here, I went here, and then
Cheating though?
no.
So we don't have to isolate the one part of the body.
Well, I mean, it's still, you know what I mean? That's still your shoulder.
Because naturally you do want to move with it.
Totally.
But I thought that was cheating.
You thought that was cheating,
I'm
so
thinking
just,
it was a reaction. Everything else is like.
yeah, that's what I would say. Yeah. Is if it follows that natural, like if you activate somewhere else, if you were to go boom, I think that's more involving other parts, but thinking about how can just this create your pathway, I think that's okay. Yeah. Am I cheating? Plus, it's my tutorial, so we can do whatever we want. Okay, good. Let's play with the hand, that range of motion. So if we have 6, 7, 8, if it went 1, yep. Let's keep it going. Once you get to that range of motion end, start playing with where else it could go. Yeah, I see what you mean though, Mackenzie, that you feel like, well, now I'm doing other things. But I think, again, if we let this prompt lead us from like, for me, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna lead with that finger. So I can continue going places with it, but it's just like that is still activating once I get past that. Yeah. Cool. Okay. Beautiful. Love it. All right, my friends. Let's do one more. Okay. I keep being like, that's enough, and let's do one more. So this one, I want to talk a little bit more about the intention in your face. So we've been finding our eyes in the mirror, but we haven't really talked a whole lot about the intention that we want to look into our eyes with, right? I think I'm going to need to do a different video for that so that we can have the camera up here and we can actually see the eye contact. But for now, I want you to think about, not the ASMR of frying bacon. I want you to think about talking to someone in the mirror, and let's let that prompt be communicating that you're sorry. Yeah. So I'm like, don't worry, Mackenzie, we're just gonna surface level. We're not gonna get deep into it. And I'm like, let's dig up trauma. I'm just kidding. But yeah, so when we think about that, if we wanna communicate that through our eyes, what are some things that come to mind? Like, what do you feel like your face is gonna be doing?
I think about eyebrows.
Yeah, what comes through in your eyebrows for this?
Maybe like, I don't know, eyebrows are like up, like.
Yeah, I can see that. What else?
A very like soft mouth.
Soft mouth. Yeah, not like.
Yeah.
So releasing the tension in our jaw. Maybe a little bit of feeling of concern. How do we change the look from worried to sorry? Very similar, I think, right? Because there's a little bit of worry of like, oh, do they hate me? You know? Yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
Maybe like the tiniest bit of your chin down. Because that's, to me, more sorry. But.
I agree with you. I feel like this feels a little like, do you forgive me? You know, and the way that I come to these expressions is I start with like the human movement. Like, what do I literally do when I feel really bad? Yeah, it's like, I'm sorry, you know what I mean? What do I do when I feel really hot? I'm like, right? Like, what do I do when I feel really mad? It's like leaning away, like, don't fucking talk to me. You know what I mean? Like, there's kind of these natural body movements, and then how do we kind of shift that into our expression? So let's go back to sorry. So we're thinking eyebrows up. We're thinking looking directly into your own eyes and literally thinking, I'm so sorry. Not, okay, Kristen, time to look really sorry for the camera. You know what I mean? Because that will manufacture the wrong expression. We want to actually feel like that empathy of what would it feel like to feel really, really sorry about something, right? So no tension, eyebrows. What about shoulders?
Maybe like a little bit forward.
I think forward, yeah. Chest?
Sunken.
I think
Sunken, right? Like, I don't know, yeah, like when I feel bad, I'm like, oh, like I naturally go like this, I think, right? So sunken, What about hands?
I mean, I'm naturally doing this, so I don't know.
I think I naturally grab my hands, but whether front or back, I'm not.
How about if your hands were expressive, if they weren't just static? How about if your hands were expressive? What do you feel like they'd be doing?
Maybe on your chest.
What else? I feel like there'd be some sort of like this gesturing, like this feels like I'm so you know, like this feels like a gesture of like, do you accept my apology, right? Like I'm giving it to you versus like I'm stepping away from you. Okay, let's play with this. Yeah, so the only prompt really we have is I want you to look into your own eyes, and instead of that look of just like, okay, I'm focused, right? Like, how does this, that's kind of my focus face. I want us to start first with the expression, you know what I mean? And then go from there. And it can be very gestural. It doesn't have to be really big. Okay? Can we play with that? Okay. All right, here we go. Let's do... You can use your breath. Good, so good. Nice. Can you find a little more like needing something, wanting something in your eyes? Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Can we turn that into bigger movement now? Now let it be bigger than you. Same intention though, right? Yeah, nice. Keep that driving thought of I'm sorry, I'm looking for forgiveness. This could even be a message to yourself. Like this can be a moment of looking at yourself and being like, I'm sorry, I was so cruel in my brain, right? That? Mackenzie, I felt like you were super in your character. Did you feel like you were going to cry a little bit? I felt like you did. I promised you I wouldn't make you cry today. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I literally was like, we're not going to cry today, Mackenzie. It's totally fine. Do you want tissues? It's so emotional. Do you want tissues? Yeah, okay. No, it's so real. You're not the only one at all. Oh my goodness. Yeah, of course. Okay, I'm gonna give you a moment, Mackenzie. Renita, can you tell me about how that felt for you?
Honestly, I think what was helping me was thinking about the thing that I would say sorry to someone for. And I think I got to a place where I started to get emotional and then I pulled back. Yeah. Because it's scary when you like start to feel that emotion. It's, yeah. So I think as I continue doing this, because this is my first time doing movement exploration like this, with these prompts. And so I feel like the more that I do it, the more confident and comfortable I'll become like actually expressing those emotions. But yeah, I think because I held back, not all of like the movement that could have came out. So I think I just like suppressed it a little bit, but very much like Mackenzie, I started to feel those emotions. Yeah. Because again, I wasn't so focused on my movement. I was focused here and like embodying that character that is saying, I'm sorry. Yeah. Mackenzie, do you want, you don't have to get deep into it, but do you want to share anything about it?
I just thought about something that I was actually really sorry for. And I noticed it was a lot harder for me to stay in it when I was moving bigger. I think because naturally in that moment you wouldn't do something like that. Totally. So the bigger movement was definitely harder for me to still feel it.
But the small movement and the connection, with yourself. Can you speak to, do you have a feeling of like Renita felt of like, it's coming up, I want to back away? And then is that a conscious thing to be like, no, I'm going to keep going? Or does it just happen for you?
I think there was a moment where I could feel my movement almost turning to like I was trying to comfort myself.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And so then I like had to redirect myself. I'm like, that's not what I'm doing. I'm supposed to be sorry.
And I think the key point, like the both of you have shared, is that you have these moments of like, like redirection, but there's not judgment. You're not like, there I go again, like doing the, you know what I mean? It's just like, redirect, pivot, whatever it might be. And I think that's a really key thing to remember in these exercises. Because sometimes you start to like expect so much of yourself the more you do it. And you're like, why can't I just perform with full emotion and perfect movement and hold my eye contact and have great movement? And it's like, because nobody can do that all the time, you know? So allowing it to just kind of be a process and not a final product, and a practice that you return to, like you said, that maybe evolves the more you do it, the more comfortable you get with it. And to allow yourself to make those little pivots or redirections without judging what was happening, I think is a really important piece of that. Okay, let's do something to bring the energy back up a little bit. Okay, so now we're gonna do a love story to ourselves. Okay, because even if we're sorry for something, everyone makes mistakes, and this is gonna be just a love letter to you. So I want you to, again, look into your own eyes, practice. Let's see how we find that expression. What does that feel like to you? Yeah. How do we communicate like love into our eyes? What are some characteristics that you guys are feeling?
I feel like the corner of my eyes go up.
Yeah, I feel that too. There's like kind of this upward energy here that's kind of the smize, right? The smiling with your eyes. What else?
I think sometimes I go in for like a head tilt. Yeah, just kind of like, I don't know, like analyzing myself, but not in like a judgmental way, but like this is who you are, you know?
It makes me think of when dogs do this, kind of, because it's like a curious, like, you know what I mean? Like, they're not like, what's your problem? They do it when they're like, ooh, it's like an exciting and intrigued, and maybe that's the approach, right? Yeah, because I can feel that too. It's sort of like a, oh, hi, you know? What about your mouth?
It's like a slight smile.
Yeah, and I think also not holding the tension. I also feel like I want to feel breath and lightness, like a sense of relief almost, if we can let that sense of relief of like, I don't have to try. There's no tension. There's no stress. I'm just, I love you. Okay? All right, so same thing. Let's focus first on our expression, and then let that come into our movement, and then I will cue you when we're gonna start being bigger with it, okay? Here we go. Can you think of a little sparkle in your eyes? Yeah. There. Think of something that gives you like butterflies and makes you a little bit like, ooh, inside. Yeah. Do you feel the difference? Like there's like a little extra energy in your eyes, right? So hold on to that. Yeah. This one gets kind of emotional too. I'm sorry. Yep. Okay, let's start bringing that into some movement, yeah? So think of movement that makes you feel light. Hey. Hey, there it is. Yeah. Yeah, you can smile, you can laugh. Hey, can we move around a little bit? Hey. Yeah. up. Wherever you're at is where you're at. Yes. Hey. Can we party with each other? Hey. Uh-huh. Yes, yes. Hey, hey, hey. Night of champagne. Again and again and again and again. Nice. So good. How'd that feel? Good? Easy? Hard? Tiring after the previous exercises? Did you feel any kind of emotional fatigue?
Not really.
No?
Yeah, I think it was just like you said, just like channeling something that like makes you happy or like gives you butterflies or something. And then I think as soon as the beat dropped and like I connected with that, I was like, wait a minute, I like this.
Yeah. And then, so for you, I was seeing in your eyes like a focus, right? And I wanted to see that kind of, and so I told Renita to think about something that gives you butterflies or makes you feel just like super excited. And you could literally see that like sparkle start to show in your eyes. And I asked you like, can you feel that? And I don't know about you, but I can usually feel like a little extra kind of energy right there too. Like I can feel that like energy. So just try to find that. And at first it will be something that's like, I think I felt it for a second, but eventually, like everything else, it can be something that you just turn on, where you're like, I want to feel confident, I want to feel powerful, I want to feel sad, I want to feel whatever the emotion is or the character of your expression, whether that's choreography or just our movement explorations, you can lock into that by finding your eyes, kind of allowing yourself to sink into that emotion. Cool? How do we feel? Good. Okay, cool. That is all we have for our movement explorations. I think we're gonna get into choreography. Thank you. So fun. Any final reflections, advice for students?
Not really advice, but it was interesting that the only song I knew you played was paired with happy. So it was interesting for those two, like, I'm doing the emotion happy and it's a song I know so I can groove easier.
Yeah.
They were paired together.
Yeah, and moving to music you don't know is so interesting and a lot of times can feel like a hang up. Personally, I try for movement explorations to find songs I don't know because then I can't anticipate and be like, well, I wanted to hit this on this beat, you know what I mean? I can just be like, I have no, oh, the music dropped. Oh, there was a ka-ka-ka, right? Renita, any last thoughts, advice?
I've never done this before. Anybody who's watching this who has also never done this before, we're doing this together. For the first time. Yeah, I think what felt the best is no judgment. So not only just from Kristen, but just from myself too, not judging myself, understanding that this is brand new. I've never done this before, so no need to feel perfect. And the more that I do it, I'm just like exercising a muscle. And it will get better as I continue to do it.
No judgment on 3. 1, 2, 3. No judgment.